Remember when ordering alcohol online felt a bit weird? It felt niche, a bit fancy. The sort of thing wine enthusiasts did while saying the words bouquet and mouthfeel. And then COVID happened, and overnight everyone became an online booze shopper. Beer, wine, whiskey, cocktail kits, mixed cases, subscription boxes. If it contained alcohol, someone was trying to post it through your letterbox. And now, 6 years later, we're finding out something really interesting. What started as a necessity might have become a permanent habit. Because despite pubs reopening, despite festivals returning, despite people going back out, online alcohol sales are still worth about £1.2 billion in the UK. So today I want to ask, did COVID permanently change how we buy booze, or are we slowly returning to normal?
It's Monday, don't groan, don't fear. The Beard and Beer blog bloke is here. Talking nonsense, beard on show. Grab a brew and watch him go.
Let's remember how things got weird. Pubs shut, taprooms shut, beer festivals vanished. Suddenly, millions of drinkers had two choices. Drink at home or don't drink. And we all know how that went. Breweries that had never sold direct to consumers suddenly became online retailers. Bottle shops became delivery services. People who had never ordered beer online before were suddenly buying 12-can mixed cases every fortnight. And the amazing thing is how quickly the industry adapted. Some breweries survived because of online sales, and some were transformed by them. And some discovered that selling direct was actually more profitable than going through traditional channels. Here's what surprised analysts. People went back to pubs, yeah, but they didn't completely abandon online buying. Instead, they added it to their lives. That is a huge distinction, because the expectation was pubs reopen, online sales collapse, job done. Instead, the market evolved. Online alcohol sales are expected to dip in 2025 as consumers return to bars and restaurants. But that channel remained remarkably resilient. The reality is super simple. People discovered they like convenience. And once consumers discover convenience, it's very difficult to take it away. Let's be brutally honest here. A huge amount of modern retail is built around one single principle. People don't want hassle. You can order dinner, groceries, clothes, electronics, and now alcohol, all from the same sofa. The customer experience isn't, do I need this? It's, do I need to stand up? And online retailers understand this perfectly. They're not competing on price. They're competing against effort, and effort usually loses. Here's something fascinating though. People are drinking less overall, yet they're spending more on individual purchases. That sounds contradictory, but it's happening everywhere. Premium whiskey, limited edition beer, craft spirits, fancy wine subscriptions. Consumers increasingly treat alcohol as an occasional luxury rather than routine purchase. Online retailers have leaned heavily into premium goods, collector's bottles and subscription models, because that's where the margins are. As a craft beer bloke, that makes complete sense to me. I know plenty of people who buy less beer than they did 10 years ago, but spend more money doing it. One thing that COVID did change though, was cocktails. People discovered to make surprisingly decent drinks at home. Not as good as a top cocktail bar, obviously, but good enough. And that habit stuck. The online market continues to benefit from demand for cocktail ingredients, mixers, premium spirits, and at-home entertaining. For some people, the home bar became a hobby, and hobbies have a habit of surviving long after the original reasons disappeared. If you'd asked me, say, 10 years ago, what would be one of the fastest growing drinks categories, I wouldn't have said canned cocktails. Yet here we are. RTDs have now smashed through £700 million in the UK off-trade sales and continue growing in both volume and value. People want convenience. Simple as that. Open a can, drink it. No mixing, no ingredients, no measuring, no washing up, and humanity's eternal quest continues. The other trend now is low and no alcohol. And it's not a fad anymore. It's become part of the market. Major drinks companies continue expanding alcohol-free ranges. Retailers report growth, and consumers increasingly alternate between alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks in a practice known as zebra striping. The future isn't necessarily more drinking, it might simply be more choice. So, did COVID permanently change how we buy booze? I think the answer is yes. Not because pubs disappeared, because they didn't. Not because online replaced everything, because it didn't. But because consumers realised they wanted both. The pub for atmosphere, the supermarket for convenience, the bottle shop for discovery, the internet for choice, the delivery app for laziness, and the results is a drinks market that is more fragmented than ever. We're not buying alcohol one way anymore. We're buying it every way. And that's probably the biggest legacy lockdown left behind. Not what we drink, but how we buy it.